Hey there, welcome back to Module 6 about promo sequences. Here in Lesson 4, we are talking about show-up sequences, which are all about getting people to actually attend the event that they registered for. So in this lesson, here's what you'll learn. You'll learn how to write great event show-up emails, how many emails to include in your show-up sequence, and when to send the show-up emails. Now, let's dive in, and the key point I want you to get is this. Live attendees are way more likely to buy, so you want to do everything you can to get them to show up. Now, again, I want to caveat this. I've talked about this, that I get many people who don't even register for webinars to sign up. But if you look at statistics, it's going to tell you every single time. If you look at people who register for a webinar, for a video series, for a challenge, the people who show up are the ones who are most likely to buy. So we want to get them there live so that we have more time to spend with them, so that we can actually really get through to them and help them understand the advantages of our product and why they should be buying. So that's why this series is so important. So like the last lesson, we're going to dive into the content and then the sequence. So let's start with the content. What are you going to include in these emails? So the key point here is that show-up emails, again, are about selling, but they're selling the benefits of the event. They're selling the benefits of showing up live to the event, not just registering, but actually being there live. Now, there's a subtle distinction here, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Depending on how you're structuring your launch, there may not be a huge difference between the two, but there might be, if there are things that they could only get if they show up live. So these will follow the same general format as the invite emails, using conversion copy about attending. So here the conversion copy isn't about registering, it's about attending. So you want to do that. So if possible, highlight benefits only available to people who attend live, if they exist. Now, what I want to caveat is some of these should exist no matter what, at least one of them. But if the others don't, you want to highlight the benefits of the event, generally build the excitement, and also highlight the events that are the things that only happen for people who are there to attend live. So again, in some ways, depending on how you structure your event, your show-up sequence could have a lot of in common with your invite sequence, where you're talking about the benefits of the event, because let's be honest, most people who don't show up for a webinar never watch the replay. So they're not going to get any of the benefits if they don't show up live. So that's why you can use some of that copy as well. But here are some potential live benefits. You can talk about the fact that you'll have a question and answer session, and they've got to be there to ask a question. If they want to get direct access to your mind, they've got to be there. So that's one of the things. You could have show-up bonuses. If there are going to be bonuses for anyone who shows up, tell them about it. And this is slightly different than fast action bonuses. Some people will have bonuses. Everyone who shows up, whether they buy or not, gets something. If that's the case, tell people that and tell them that's one of the reasons. Now, if you have a fast action bonus, people will often have bonuses that are only available for people who buy during the event, so during the webinar, or buy, etc. And if that's the case, if you're going to have those kind of bonuses, you want to hint at those. Again, you have to be careful in your language to make so it doesn't make them believe that they get that no matter what if they attend, but that they have to attend. Only people who attend will have access to potentially get this. So you can hint at those in your benefits. So those are the benefits in addition to the things we talked about in your invite sequence, that you can again talk about what they're going to discover and all of those things, so that they get that excitement. So a show up sequence, build excitement, talk about the advantages of showing up live. Now let's talk about the sequence of how you do this and how you're actually going to send this. Now, you're going to create 5 unique show-up emails that you'll want to draft for a standard launch. So for a standard webinar-style launch, or something where you are doing things with a 1 week before is when you're going to start inviting, you're going to have 5 show-up emails. So email number 1 is the confirmation. You'll want to craft an email that goes out right when someone registers. This can mimic the catch structure from way back in the catch module, But what you're doing is you're focusing on it being a big deal that they registered, about how them taking this step is huge. But then you also add in that registering is only the first step, and they need to take the next step and show up. So that's kind of that first email, the confirmation email, and everyone will get this because it goes out right when they register for the event. They will get a confirmation email. Then emails 2 and 3, these go out 24 hours and 48 hours. So email 2 goes out 48 hours before the event, and email 3 goes out 24 hours before the event. And they're about getting people excited for the event. They can be about future pacing the possibilities or addressing the common objections, that it's not boring. So again, conversion copy, talking about why they want to be there. What are they going to get out of attending? What are the benefits generally? All the stuff we've talked about in conversion copy and in the content you're going to put into these indoctrination emails. So those go out 2 days and 1 day before the event. And again, the way I structure it, if my webinar is at noon, these would go out at noon the 2 days before and noon the day before. It doesn't have to be exact, but that's how I tend to do it. Then emails 4 and 5 are reminders. These go out 1 hour and then 15 minutes before the event and are the last minute reminders, and they include a link to join. These tend to be shorter. Now you want to talk about things, you still want to be engaging, but basically these are, at this point, you're not really selling the event anymore. You're saying, hey, don't forget, it's coming up. And so you want to include these. And they should definitely include the link to join. So one thing I want to make a point of, because people will be registering for kind of your webinar or launch event at different times, they're not going to all get all the emails. So if someone registers for your event like 23 hours before, you think about it, they're not going to get any of the indoctrination emails. They'll get the confirmation emails and the reminder emails. So really, the emails they get all comes down to when it is that they register. So the confirmation email is going to be going out dynamically as people sign up. So remember that it's going to go out dynamically as people sign up. So it's kind of, happening all over the place. So it can't be, set for a particular time or written for a particular time. It is when they register. And also, here's a key point I want you to get. The confirmation email is the only email that everyone will get. Now, most people are likely to get the confirmation and at least that in like the 15-minute reminder email. But theoretically, someone could register within that 15-minute period, so the confirmation email could be the only email they get. So that means you want to make sure that the confirmation email has all the details that they need. It's got to have, how they, where they go to with the link to actually go. But it also, you want to make sure that it does the job of getting people excited and really kind of confirming why they want to be there. So you want to do that. Now, the good news is someone who only gets the confirmation email, who literally signed up in the last 15 minutes right before a webinar is about to start or right before a launch series is about to start, they're probably pretty hot. So they're probably going to show up. But you just need to be thinking through that email needs to have all the information. Now, again, you'll find examples of these emails in the swipe file that's available with this lesson, because you can kind of look at what I've done and really take a look and see how it is you're going to do these different kind of show up sequences to get people to show up for your event. So the key lesson takeaway is to take the time to create a great show up sequence to get the people you worked so hard to get signed up to actually attend. Because when they attend, they are much more likely to buy. So you want to put a lot of effort into actually getting people there live. So that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, you're going to learn how to structure a 4-day sales sequence, how to structure a 7-day sales sequence, and how to structure a sales booster sequence. So we're going to be kind of going in depth about the sales sequence in the next lesson. I'll see you there.